Jai Swaminarayan. Let's read the 21st passage from the second Gadhadā. It's titled, The Main Principle. Let's dive right into it, shall we? On Bhagwan Swaminarayan, Samvat 1878, or the 7th of March, 1822, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj was sitting in front of the mandir of Shri Vasudev Narayan in Dadagh Char Darbar in Gadhadā. He was wearing a white case and had covered himself with a white cotton cloth. He had also tied a white pag around his head. At that time, Premananda Swami and other Paramahansas were singing a Vishnupad before him. Thereupon Sriji Maharaj said, "Please stop the devotional songs. I wish to speak to all of you, so please listen attentively." He then said, "I myself have attentively listened to all of the scriptures which Vyasji has written regarding the attainment of liberation. The main principle prevalent in all those scriptures, and the only principle for the liberation of the jiva, is simply this: the sole creator, sustainer, and destroyer of this entire cosmos is God. Moreover, in all of those scriptures, there are talks of the divine actions and incidents of either God or his saint. So liberation cannot be attained just by the observance of the dharma of one's varna and ashram, their caste and part of their age, part of their life that they live given by their age, whether they are, in the first part of life, student, whether they are a householder, whether they are a forest dweller, or whether they are sannyasi, a renunciant. Or through its fruits, in the form of dharma, artha, which is respectively righteous duty, the generation of wealth, and kam, which is pleasure. This is because the observance of the dharma of one's varna and ashram on its own may bring worldly reputation and physical comforts, but that is all. For the purpose of liberation, however, realizing God to be the All-Doer is the only means. In addition, if a person realizes the glory of manifest God and his bhakta sant, his devotee saint, in exactly the same way as they realize the glory of past avatar descensions of God, such as Ram, Krishna, etc., as well as the glory of past sadhus, such as Narad, the Sanakadik, Shukji, Jadbharat, Hanuman, Uddhav, etc., then nothing remains to be understood on the path of liberation. Whether this principle is understood after being told once or after being told 1,000 times, whether it is understood today or after 1,000 years, there is no option but to understand it. Even if one were to ask Narad, the Sanakadik, Shukji, Brahma, and Shiv, since they are wise, even they, using many different techniques, would point to the manifest form of God and the manifest form, of the Sant as being the only grantors of liberation. They would also explain that the glory of the manifest form of God and the manifest form of the Sant is exactly the same as the glory of past forms of God and the Sant. A person who has such a firm conviction has grasped all of the fundamental principles. What is more, they will never fall from the path of liberation. Brahma, Shiv, Brihaspati, Parashar, etc. may have fallen from the path of dharma due to lust, anger, etc. But because they had the same conviction in and knowledge of the glory of the manifest form of God and the manifest form of the Sant as they had of their past forms, they did not fall from the path of liberation. Thus, the essence of all the scriptures is this very fact. In the evening of that same day, Swami Sri Sahajanandji Maharaj mounted his horse in Dada Khachar Darbar in Gadhadā and came to Lakshmivadi. There he sat on a large decorated cot on the platform under the mango tree. He was wearing a white case and had covered himself with a white cotton cloth. He had also tied around his head a white pag that was adorned by a tassel of yellow flowers. Bunches of mogra flowers were placed upon his ears, and a garland of mogra flowers was also placed around his neck. At that time, an assembly of munis, as well as devotees from various places, had gathered before him. Thereupon, Sriji Maharaj said, "Please listen. I wish to ask all of you a question. During the dream state, when the jiva, the soul, sees a creation and indulges in the pleasures of that creation, does the jiva itself become the form of the creation? Or does the jiva create the creation in its dream by its own will? Also, in the same way as the jiva, the Ishwars, such as Brahma, the creator, etc., also experience creations during their dream state. Do they themselves become the form of the creation, or do they create it by their own will? Or does God, who transcends both Jiva and Ishwar, create the creations experienced in their dreams?" Everyone attempted to answer the question according to their level of intelligence, but no one was able to offer a precise explanation. Sriji Maharaj then explained, "Neither the jiva nor Ishwar creates the creations experienced during the dream state, nor do they become the form of those creations themselves. In reality, it is God who transcends both jiva and Ishwar, and who is also the giver of the fruits of one's karmas, actions, who creates the world experienced in dreams according to the karmas, the actions of the particular jiva or Ishwar. The unstable and illusory nature of dreams is due to their region of origin. The throat is such that in that place countless types of such creations can be seen, just as when an oil lamp is lit in one place within a mandir, a temple decorated with mirrors. Countless oil lamps would be seen. Therefore, due to the location of its origin, the throat, a single thought can be experienced in countless ways. Sriji Maharaj then said, "A person possessing jnana understands only the influence of place to be predominant when there is the predominance of place, and when the influence of time is predominant, they understand only time to be predominant, and when the influence of karma, action, is predominant, they understand only karma, action, to be predominant, and when God's influence is predominant, they understand only God's influence to be predominant. In contrast, a fool, once they have understood one factor, considers that alone to be the chief factor. If they have understood time, they consider time to be the chief factor. If they have understood karma, they understood karma. They consider karma to be the chief factor. And if they have understood maya, material existence, they consider maya to be the chief factor. But such a fool does not know how to distinguish between the different predominating factors, prevalent in different circumstances. A person with jnana, knowing wisdom, on the other hand, understands the predominance of various factors based on the circumstances. In fact, it is God who is the inspirer of everything, of place, time, karma, and maya. It is He Himself who allows the factors of place, time, etc. to be predominant. Thus they are all dependent upon God. Just as the Shishumar Chakra is dependent on the support of the Dhruv star, and just as all the objects of a kingdom are dependent on their king. Furthermore, in a kingdom, The minister and secretaries can only do as much as their king allows them to do. When the king does not allow it, they cannot even do the smallest of tasks. In the same way, the factors of place, time, karma, and maya can only do as much as God allows them to. They cannot do a single thing against the wish of God. Therefore, only God is the all-doer. After delivering this discourse, Sriji Maharaj returned to the Darbar. Thank you very much for listening. That has been the 154th discourse from Sriji Maharaj in the Vachanāmrut. Jai Swaminarayan.